Welcome. We are back. Rough day again in the market. Going live a little bit early tonight, but just like the normal stream, just a little bit earlier than usual. Probably not going to happen too often. But yeah, we're here looking at the market. Like I always say, no matter how bad the market is, no matter how rough things are, I'm always going to be showing up. That's what I'm doing. It's tough, you know. Pretty much most stocks are down today. That's like the simple way to put it. Just had it was a mixed, like the open was red, then you went to green, the S&P was up like 0.5%, and then Powell started talking, and pretty much right throughout like the middle of his speech, market started tanking, and it pretty much tanked until like the last hour and a half of the day, and then around the final hour or two of the day, the market started rallying off of like support on the indexes, but then after hours, just a nightmare, to put it quite frankly. I was opening up my after hours, not good. Pretty much everything was down after hours. Futures, we're looking at them right now. They are currently at their lowest lows. They're down 0.75% now on the S&P 500 futures. Just a lot of things going on. Technical overbought when it was up here. That was warned about on stream when we were at the top of this channel. I was putting out a lot of warnings on the market, and it just kept on falling to the bottom of the channel. And now you're testing the bottom of the channel, but for right now, it's not confirmed by any means. You can easily wick right back into the channel, but as of this second, you are under the channel on everything. If you look at the S&P index, if you look at the S&P futures, if you look at the SPY ETF, well, those ones are closed, so you can't see right now. But if you're looking at them after hours, it's rough. You're still up there, but futures are just not hanging in there. Of course, anything can change overnight. Trust me, I hope things do change overnight. But I hope you managed your risk. The trades, a lot of them were down today, but it's not the end of the world. Like the trade sheet's all right for right now. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But yeah, if you start breaking this channel, you have 3725. Let me just go to the regular S&P, but you have this 3720 support, which was like the bottom today. It's your 88.6% retrace. It's also your candle highs from over here, and then your candle low from right there. If you break under that, there's pretty much not like a major support until 35.85, which would be a nightmare. Like that would be pretty much doubling what just happened in the last 3 weeks. If you actually got down there, it would be another almost 4% move to the downside on the S&P. So it's rough. This is, again, you're in an area where like you don't want to confirm much lower. And I think a lot of people are learning, especially a lot of people who just started trading in the last year, ever since like post-COVID crash. Stocks don't only go up, and we're seeing just a bad reaction to, Powell speaking today, to the 10-year yields rising. The dollar is going up, which is usually bad for equities, and technicals weren't good. So, I mean, from a catalyst standpoint, all I can really think about is stimulus. But I feel like most people are already expecting stimulus to pass in some sort of manner. So I'm not too sure how people are going to react. But we'll see. Just take it day by day. I know a lot of people here, probably 95% of people here, had a pretty bad day in the market today, myself included. It's just, you can't really control it. It's out of your control. You have to understand that. You just need to be able to react to what's happening. So remember, you want to preserve your capital. You don't want to give up, gains, or you don't want to lose more if you're already down. At the end of the day, all you want to do is be safe and then wait until better times come. Better times can come tomorrow, or it could take another year. I mean, there's no way to know how long that this is going to last, but it's definitely concerning. It's been concerning for weeks now, and you're really just seeing the level of supply drastically increasing, right? Where we were having like half a percent red days on the S&P, but like today the S&P was down almost 3% at one point, which is very, very rare. That does not happen too often at all. So yeah, I just want to spend some extra time looking at the indexes. We can also look at the dollar, which has been going up. I mean, I've been showing on stream for probably a month now the falling wedge on the dollar. I also said that it broke out like about 2 weeks ago or something. It kind of broke out, then it back tested, and now the dollar's running again. That's not good for the market. That means people are moving into cash. And yeah, typically when the dollar goes up, crypto and stocks go down. If we look at the VIX, the volatility index, I mean, if the market does gap down tomorrow, it's probably going to shoot up back to 30 plus. Right now it's at 28.6, so that's where it closed at. So we're at levels where either you could get a sharp rally or a longer fall, right? I mean, we're gonna have to see where the S&P opens tomorrow. You still have a fighting chance, but you broke the original demand line, right? So the original channel was just something like that. You broke that. You very well broke that, and now it just kind of looks like an ascending, broadening wedge. But even more than the actual channels and the wedges, it's just weird because people will realign their charts to look a little bit differently. So the real supports that are like the best to use are horizontal supports. You have 37.26, which you're currently above on futures. But if you break that, like, you could see another, 70 points drop real quick just based on the technicals. So I'm hoping, the stimulus, money printer, what we've been seeing for the last, however long, but it's rough. I mean, this is not the biggest correction of the rally, right? You had a 8% correction back in October, if anybody remembers that. And this is only a 6%. So this is not even your biggest correction during the bull market. So I'm not saying the bull market is over by any means. I'm not even saying that the short term is super bearish. All I'm saying is that it's high risk. It is, because you're at an area where if you break these supports on the indexes, there's room, a lot more room to the downside. That's just what happens if we go on like the monthly, and we were looking at this like 2 nights ago on stream. This is the monthly on the market, right? So when all you do is pretty much go up, aside from the COVID crash in 2008, you're just at levels where, yes, it would not be crazy to see a continued pullback. But I'm not here to call things. I don't really do that. I just show you the probability. I give you the potential scenarios, and you do what you want with that information. So yeah, I hope you've been following the stop losses. Definitely a lot of trades got saved by stops, like not in the sense that they were, the stops, obviously it's never fun getting stopped out, but on a lot of the trades, they got stopped out, and then they really dumped today after getting stopped out. Like, a lot of things got stopped out right in the morning, and after they got stopped out, some things like continued to tank the whole entire day. XL went to like 11.50, which is insane. XL was $35 like on the day of their merger, and now it's 11. Like, there's so many different stocks where if you would have told me that they would have been at this price just a month ago, I would have called you crazy. But I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Like, CCIV went from 65 to 21 today. Clover went from $17 and it was under $7 today. Clover was at like $6.90. So it's crazy. And I'm sure you could just say that for most stocks right now with how bad the drops have been. So again, I don't call things. I'm not here to call things. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I just care that I could try and help somebody out in terms of managing their risk and having a good trading plan and not just gambling. So yeah, that's just my coverage on the market. We can take a look at Bitcoin real quick, which has also been falling down. The trade on Bitcoin at one point was up. Put out an alert on Sunday. At one point, this trade was up 16%. Now the trade's only up like 2%. So Bitcoin is also pulling back crazy. I alerted the Discord like 25 minutes ago, and it also just fell another percent since then. Basically, you broke the support at 48.2K, which if you remember from last night's stream, that was like what I said you definitely want to hold, and if you don't hold it, maybe just take some profits. So if you were in last night's stream, you would have remembered that. And it's been falling since it broke that support. So the original thesis on Bitcoin no longer stands, right? Like, if I would have just had the target right here, it would have been a great trade. You would have made 22% profit. I mean 15 because it never got to this part of the entry. But it's just, you have to remember, it's going to be very, very hard for the trades from like last week and stuff to be hitting targets when the market's doing this. So you have to adapt, right? Just because you set out a target a week ago or 4 days ago, on Bitcoin, a lot has changed in the last 4 days in the macro. So you have to be able to adapt on all of the trades. And I said it multiple times in Discord today, take profits whenever you want to, because a lot of the trades were up double digits percentage wise and went all the way down to their stop. And you should never let a winning trade turn into a losing trade. So when you're being given profits in this type of a market, profits are for taking. I just want that point to be emphasized. Like, again, preservation of your capital is your main goal. It's not trying to 3x your portfolio when the market is down 3%. It's trying to just survive it until better times come. And if you're playing, puts and shorts, I'm sure you killed it today. So yeah, that's that. The futures are still falling. They have not bounced. They're down 0.80% on the S&P 500 futures, still around session lows. I'm just trying to coverage what the charts are looking like, give my interpretation of it. And yeah, that covers all my thoughts on the market and Bitcoin. We can get into the specific trades, sure, like I always do, but just remember the technicals don't matter too much when the market is doing what it's literally doing right now. So, because people stop caring about the fundamentals of the stock they're trading, they stop caring about the technicals of the stock they're trading when the market does things like this, and all they care about is the balance in their account and preserving that, which just pretty much defeats the purpose of both technicals and fundamentals when the market is doing this. Am I going to be playing puts tomorrow? No, I don't really play puts. When I'm not comfortable, I just go cash. But in the future, I'm definitely looking. If we do enter like a real bear market, yes, I will definitely be putting out short trades and stuff like that, which I haven't done too often because pretty much ever since I started streaming, the market's been great. But you have to always adapt, and you really start confirming these levels, who knows? And I'm not here to spread fear. That's not what I do. Just manage your risk, and hopefully things get better. That's what I'm going to say. So yeah, I hope futures recover overnight. They're not looking good at all right now. Most stocks fell after hours quite a bit. A lot of the trades fell after hours quite a bit. We can look at the trade sheet real quick. Make sure to hit that like button. Let's get to 30 likes real quick. Hit the subscribe button. We're very, very close to 2,300 subs. And let's take a look at the trades sheet. All right. It's not bad compared to what the market's been doing. I mean, the market's been doing this, right? and the trade street's hanging in there. Like, it's net positive, which means the winning trades is a higher percentage than the losing trades losses. So the trade sheet is positive for this week. Pretty much every single week has been positive. There's not been one week in the last 4 months of me putting out trades in which the losing percentages was higher than the winning percentages. There has been like pretty scary weeks, like this one was bad. This was the worst week ever. So this, even this week, it's not even close to how bad that week was. But other than week 15, pretty much every single week has been just lights out, free money. And I'm not having an ego. That's just, there's proof of all this, and that's what it's been, right? So you're at this point where it's definitely hard to make profits when the market's doing what it's doing. That's very, very obvious, very clear. That's why you need to be very picky with your trades, and it's why you need to have a good plan trading, trying taking your profits when you get them. And yeah, UWMC hit the target earlier this week for 51% profit. BNT hit the target this week for 23% profit. QSR hit the target for 9%. Boeing's up 7%, DD 6%, QS 5%, Bitcoin, that's only like 2% now. Over, that's also only like 3% now. It was up 10% at one point after hours when the news of the grant for research came out, but it fell with the rest of the market after hours. Palantir, I didn't see it after hours, but I'm sure it's pulled back a little bit. Fisker, I did see it after hours. It pulled back a lot, pulled back like 4 or 5%, I believe. CCIV also pulled back 7% after hours. Like, these trades were crushing. I put out these trades today, and the new CCIV trade was up 7%. The new Fisker trade was up 5%, and they pretty much gave back the gains after hours. Like, after hours was brutal for many stocks. And Apple ATRA even. The second CCIV trade, it was up 18%, then it got stopped out. But if you're in the Discord, I alerted that it was bearish when the trade was still up 10% because there was a bear flag. Again, I don't want people to be too strict about the targets and stuff like that. You need to understand that, especially in these market conditions, things change during the trade. So I don't care what the sheet says. If something changes on the chart or in the market on the fundamentals, you need to understand that and prioritize adapting rather than only sticking to your game plan because the game plan changes in the market. Remember, I always say the number one quality you can have as a trader is the ability to adapt. FEYE down 3%. It was down a lot more after hours. Same thing with BB. Basically, just a lot of things. Pretty much all of them fell after hours. That's the easiest way to put it. Then a few trades stopped out today. SDC stopped out for a 5% loss. XL stopped out for an 8% loss. But again, these trades, at one point, the SDC trade was up 14%, like 2 days ago. The XL trade was up 19% in profit, like 2 days ago. And as I always say, if a trade is up double digits in percentages, you should not be actually getting stopped out. Basically, if a trade's up double digit in percentages and it comes all the way back down to where you entered, just get out, right? You'd rather just walk away with not losing any money, but not making money, than having a huge winning trade turning into a losing trade. So I just have to put it red on the sheet because I keep the sheet very, very straightforward. It's just numbers on the sheet. That's all it is. It's just like the direct numbers based on the trade percentages. But in reality, these should have been at least break-even trades, not losing trades. And I teach that, and I teach taking profits and not giving back your gains. Helion, 3% loss, just straight up a loss right there. CCIV, straight up a loss on that trade. The previous one, not the current CCIV trade. Fubo, just straight up a loss. And then KNDI, the biggest loss of the week was 11%. So that recaps all like the trades percentage-wise. Again, the sheet's not horrible, but obviously I wish it was better. I'm just, it's the best I could do given the market conditions. And I'm sure you saw that a lot of stocks were down double-digit percentages today. So as long as they're hanging in there, I'm fine. But it's not optimal. Obviously, it's not. But yeah, and also it's a lot of trades on the sheet. I never had these many trades in a week. Usually it's like around 10. This week it's 23 are on the sheet. Of course, there's a few ongoing from last week, but yeah, that recaps the trades. Let me get back to the charts so we can look at the specific charts. Futures continuing to drop. They're still at their lows. And I'm gonna look at all of these charts of the trades because I normally do that. But please remember, it does not matter. The specific charts do not matter unless the market conditions are stable, and the market conditions are not stable. So more than any chart that I show you of a specific stock, what matters it's the actual overall market. And I'm not saying 100% of stocks will be down when the market's down. That's obviously not the case. I'm just saying most of them, right? It's all probability. And yeah, we're gonna go over all the trades in depth. And yeah, it's not going to be a super long stream tonight. I just want to get to the point, cover what I need to cover. I don't think we're really going to be doing ticker requests tonight, just because it doesn't really make too much sense to do ticker requests when the market's doing what it's currently doing. So until things get stable, I mean, anything's on the table, really. So like I can look at any chart for anybody, but it just, what matters more than the actual specific chart is what the market's looking like. And yeah, so make sure to hit that like button. Let's get to 30 likes. Hit that subscribe button. We're very close. I think we're like 10 subscribers away from 2,300. And if you want to send me a tip or get some merchandise, that's a pinned comment in the chat. Also, the one-on-one classes are back for limited time only, and I genuinely mean that. I think I'm gonna be closing them up probably early next week, because we've already had about 12 or 13 people sign up for the one-on-one classes, and I opened them yesterday. And each class is an hour, so that's 13 hours of classes. So I obviously can't have like 100 hours of classes when I'm also trading and streaming and doing college and all that. So it's whenever it just becomes like, probably around 20 classes when I'm going to be turning off the form to try, what's the word? I can't even speak. Basically, when we get like 7 or 8 more classes signed up, that's when I'm going to be pausing the classes for the foreseeable future. So yeah, if you want to lock in a class, probably going to have maybe a couple more days to sign up if you do. Otherwise, they're probably going to be paused for like a month until I get more free again, right? And yeah, basically in the classes, I pretty much help you assess where you are as a trader, what you need work on, what you're good at. Then I give you my full trading process, much more in depth than any of my videos, and we scan charts and pretty much, what you can ask me direct questions. Like, it's pretty hard for you to ask me direct questions through the chat, so when we're in a call, you can ask me any sort of trading question. And yeah, first link in the description. And Cheddar Freeze, thank you for dropping the link there. Yeah, let's go over all the trade charts. And saying it's like the 5th time, but please remember, the market conditions matter more. Futures finally bouncing like barely anything, but yeah, let's go over CCIV first. There was two technical trades that got stopped out, but the first trade that I put out in CCIV, not one time, not 2 times, but 3 different times, the trade was up 18%. So like I always say, even if a trade does not hit the target and it comes all the way back down to the stop loss before hitting the target, if you're up double-digit percentages at most, you should just be breaking even on the trade. Never let a winning trade turn into a losing one. So I'm gonna have to definitely reassess how I go about, trades that were up a lot, didn't hit the target, and then pulled back. Maybe I just say if they come back down to the entry to just break even on it. But yeah, this is a new trade that I put out on CCIV today. It started off amazing. I put out this trade. The entry on CCIV was 22.61, and by the end of the day at close, this trade was up 7.5%. So in about 2 hours, the trade went up 7.5%. And it pretty much gave all of that back after hours. So I hope, like me putting in the announcements channel in the Discord to take profits whenever you're comfortable helped on a lot of these. But that's exactly what I meant. It's going to be very hard for things to be hitting casual targets while the market's doing what it's doing. So somebody in the Discord suggested I do multiple targets on a trade. And I used to do that. I don't know why I stopped, but I'm definitely going to start doing that again, especially with the current market conditions. But yeah, CCIV, the trade's still up like maybe like 1% or something after hours, because I think it closed like 23 and I posted the entry at 22.62. So yeah, it just pulled back a lot. The reason behind the trade was the 1 hour classic bullish divergence, the 30-minute classic bullish divergence. Let me go to 30-minute. Right, triple classic bullish divergence on the 30-minute and a double bottom. You broke over the VWAP. From a technical standpoint, I'm going to tell you with the 80% probability this trade would be playing out if the market was not falling like it is. And it started playing out, like pretty much all of the trades this week started out playing or played out. Can't talk. They they did what I was hoping for them to do up to a certain point, and then the market pulled them back on so many of the trades. Even XL was up like 18%, and then the market pulled it back. There was also a report on it, but a lot of these trades, like you even saw with Fisker and QS today, they start off great, they're doing well, but then when the market starts pulling, it just takes these trades with them. That's the rough part about when the market conditions are like this, because even if you have a great trading idea, market doesn't care, right? So that's CCIV. Clover. Let's go to the daily. Posted a new trade on Clover. This is, I think, like the 4th trade on Clover. The first trade I ever put out on Clover was a 27% profit. Then I put out 2 losing trades on Clover that were like a 8 or 9% loss each. So like if you're going like you're doing like the total percentages, it's pretty much around break even on the trades I put out on Clover, because there was like a couple of failed trades that were like an 8% loss, but then there was that one trade I put out in January on Clover that was a 20 something percent profit. But I put out a new trade on Clover again. So the trade before this trade on Clover got stopped out at, I think, like $9.80. From $9.80 until today, there was no trade on Clover. I was going over on the stream because a lot of people were asking about it and cared about it, but there wasn't any official trade, and I've been saying that. And then today I put out an official trade. And the reason behind that is you got the PCZ of a bullish crab, which is the 2618 from B to D. So you have the 2618, but there's also another potential PCZ on Clover, which would be the 1618 from X to D. And if I just extend that, that would be pretty much down to like 630, right? So that's why I put like this little green box here showing you that like it could either be here or down at 630, but the idea of the trade and why this is an advanced trade is to be cost averaging into the position, because you don't know if this is going to be where it reverses or the next PCZ, if it reverses at either and it plays out. And the idea is to hopefully at one of the PCZs you get divergence and you can pivot. After hours, there was an article that came out. Basically, they got a grant to do research with the National Institute of Health, I guess. And the trade at one point after hours up 10%. But then again, like pretty much all of the trades, they start out well and then the market's been pulling them. It's super frustrating, but that's just it. That is what it is, right? And then it pretty much pulled back and it's pretty much back at where it where it closed at. Then Fisker, another one. I mean, just all of these trades, like they've just been starting out so nicely. The Fisker trade was up 5.5% at close, but it pretty much is only up like 1% now because it pulled back with the market after hours. Same exact thing. The reason behind this trade was the support over here and the hidden bullish divergence. And I was lining up the new trades today when the market, I was waiting for the S&P to hit a support. So when I saw that the S&P was like pretty much at the lows, I think it was like 37.30 when the S&P was down there, it was at this demand line. That's when I started putting out trades. I did not put out any trades until it was there because I knew it was at a major support. And then you saw, QS was up 5%, CCIV was up 7%, Fisker was up 5% at market close, and then after hours screwed everything up. US, same thing. Trade started off nicely. At close, the trade was up 5%, and it pretty much, I don't even know what it went to after hours. Let me check. Fell down 3% after hours, so boom, trade's only up 1% now. It's frustrating, yeah. All the trades starting off so nicely, and the market just pulls them. On QS, you can eventually create 4-hour classic bullish divergence very easily, because you're already pretty much at the same low, and your MACD from this on to the next one's much lower, or less levels of negative momentum, and you're at this major support, which is where it had the previous rally that I did put out a trade on. It was like a 46% profit, and you're just back at that same low. FEYE, I think this might have been stopped out after hours. $18.20. Yeah, I mean, technically not, because it's right above it, but just in general, if the market is red tomorrow, it's probably going to go lower. Again, just another trade that looked great. It started up 5%, and then the market pulled it back. ATRA, this one's interesting. It did technically hit the stop, but it never closed the candle. and is still developing classic bullish divergence. It was still at the 200-day moving average, but I'm sure it's really hard to do these analysis is. I don't even know the plural for that, but analyses, I don't know. It's really hard to do them right now because of what happened after hours, so I just need to check every single stock price to see how much they fell after hours. Fell 4, yeah, it's got stopped out after hours, so we can move on from this. Trade started off nicely, market pulled it. DD trades in profit. Honestly, if the market keeps dropping, it would probably make sense to just take profits. You don't want a winning trade to turn into a failed trade, right? Trade's still in profit. Apple's pretty much still at the entry. Actually, unless Apple tanked after hours, I think it could reverse, but again, the market matters more. I hate being like a broken record right now, but that's really truth. 118. Yeah, technically after hours, Apple closed right at this demand line, and that was actually the low of the day. So you definitely don't want to fall under 118 on Apple. That's like your demand line, that's your support. Palantir. Gonna have to check how much it fell after hours like the rest of the trades. 4% after hours. It pretty much gave back the day's gain, so that means the trade's at break even. Probably just depends on the market. It actually was up 5% today when the market was tanking, so it held up, but not after hours. BlackBerry, I need to check again how much it fell after hours. This is so bad. Fell 2% after hours, so again, just another trade that it started off so well. The trade was up like 18% at one point, and then it just went down. But again, like I've been saying so many times, don't let a winning trade turn into a losing one. So if you were in and you were in profit and it came all the way back down to the entry, you would just be getting out for break even. So please remember that on all of the trades moving forward. If you were in on a trade and it was up so much, but unfortunately it didn't get to the target and then just pull back, don't let it turn into a losing trade. Boeing, again, if the market keeps falling, it might make sense to take profits, as this trade is still luckily in profit. And then yeah, BigCommerce stopped out today, 10% loss. SEC stopped out, 5% loss. ANDI stopped out, 11% loss. Those were the failed trades, like actually on paper. Ilion, another one. Look at this. This was only a 3% loss, but it fell another 14%. That's where the stop loss really saves you. Same thing on XL. It was only a 8% loss, but then it fell all the way from the entry 20%. That's why I use stop losses. And then again on the XL trade, at one point it was up 18%. So if a trade's up 18%, what I've been saying all stream, it comes all the way back down to entry, just get it out of break even. Most of the time it's going to help you out. Sometimes you might screw yourself over and it'll bounce again, but most of the time, at least you're not letting something that was a winner turn into a loser. And yeah, Fubo also, again, stopped out, but this is where the stop loss helps you. That's why I have tactical stop losses. It was a 6% loss, but Fubo at one point was down 20%. So stop losses help. Yes, it sucks to get stopped out, but sometimes this is a lot of the time, this is why you want to stop loss, because it goes much lower. And then it rallied, but I'm sure it fell after hours like everything else. Just verify that. Yeah, it was down 6% after hours. So that covers all the trades. It was honestly pretty hard to cover the trades because on one hand, the market is still very, very weird, and the actual technicals on many of these charts don't matter if the market's falling. On the other hand, most of the trades were up double digits percentage-wise, and then they went all the way down to the stop losses, which, as a person putting out the trades, very much frustrates me. But hopefully, you listened about getting out at break even when a winning trade is about to turn into a losing one. And that covers pretty much as I can cover. It covers the market, it covers all of the ongoing trades, Bitcoin. Futures are bouncing a little bit now. They were down 0.80%. Now they're down 0.60%. So about a 0.5% bounce. Hopefully they continue bouncing throughout the night. Otherwise, I'm sure if futures open down here, like probably more trades are going to get stopped out in the morning. That's just really how it is. So please manage your risk. And yeah, I mean, moving forward, just being completely straightforward, there's going to be less trades if the market stays like this. I don't know how long it's going to last, but if the market stays like this, there's not going to be as many trades. And then also, like, I'm going to be optimizing the actual trades, lower targets, tighter stop losses, more conservative in both directions. And yeah, I think there's a lot of great long-term value on certain stocks right now. I just can't believe the prices I'm seeing on some stocks. Like genuinely cannot believe how low some stocks are right now, but there's a lot of disbelief that occurs with this market, and who knows how low they can go, right? And that's really it. So watch futures overnight. That's the easiest way to put it. Hopefully they rally, but again, who knows? And yeah, that pretty much covers as much as I could. A lot of people talking about Tesla. It was at 600 at one point. I think it closed after hours at 6 point. I think it closed after hours at 600. Yeah, it closed after. Wow, Tesla went from 900 to 600. I don't like how it broke 654. I wanted it to hold that level. At this point, there's not really a support on Tesla, literally until like 500. And I don't think that could even be argued. There's not really a real 4-hour support. You can go on the 1 hour and probably find something like maybe 590. Oh, it's at 598, so I guess pretty much where it closed. But again, it's just, I can look at individual charts, but I don't think it matters if the market's doing what it's doing. So like when the market becomes normal, that's when it makes more sense to look at them. But for now, a lot of trading is just gambling. And I do think there's a reason why the DXY is going up, because a lot of people are preferring cash right now, right? That's the dollar index, and you can't really lose with cash. And technically cash is appreciating for the first time in a long time. It's been dropping a lot ever since like pretty much since the COVID crash. And now the dollar index is starting to reverse. If it breaks this level, yeah, it has a lot more room to the upside. So you're at these levels again where if you can hold them, you can see a reversal in the market, but if you can't hold them, you can see continuation to the downside. So I'm going to be doing the intraday updates in the Discord like I always do during the day. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing ticket requests tonight, just because, as I said, the market conditions are weird. But of course, if the market goes green, probably most things would bounce because of how much oversold they are. Just who knows. And yeah, it covers as much as I can. I know I went live early. I know this is a much shorter stream, but I just wanted to get to the point, cover what I had to, keep it straight and simple, because there's so many different variables to even be trying and mapping out trades right now. And yeah, make sure you hit that like button. Can we please close at 30 likes? We need 3 more people to hit the like button. You see how many subscribers we're at. 2292, so we need 8 more subscribers for 2300. If you're not subscribed, that was awkward. You see my face? I know somebody's gonna screenshot that, but I dropped my phone on this class, and it went like this. It almost tipped over and dropped all over my monitor, but then it kind of bounced itself. Like, I did freak out for a second. That was funny, I guess. Hopefully that brightened your night, okay? Seeing that. But as I was saying, or I was going to say, that just threw me off track. If you want to sign up for a one-on-one class, I'm not just saying this so more people sign up. I genuinely mean this, and you're going to find it out that it's going to be true shortly. Within like a week, the classes are going to be closed up. So if you want to take the opportunity to ask me direct questions, to learn my whole entire trading process really in depth, look at charts together, and become a better trader, I mean, right now is a perfect time to be actually learning how to manage risk, how to use technicals to your advantage. So it's the first link in the description if you want to sign up for a class. Already 13 people, or 14 I think now, have signed up, and I opened them yesterday. So when it gets there's only a few more slots, honestly, probably five more slots maybe. And yeah, so that's the first link in the description if you want to sign up. If you want to send me a tip, support the stream, that's the pinned comment in the chat. And yeah, I mean, good luck to everybody tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but hopefully, at least in the short term, whether it's tomorrow or not, things start panning out better. Because I know a lot of people, lost jobs last year, or just had rough situations financially with everything going on, and the market's been kind of their way of literally making a living. So I know and even if it's not your living, it's still like a big part of your income, I assume, or a decent part of it. So I know for a lot of people here, the last couple weeks have been rough. But keep your head up. Good times will come again. I can't promise you they're going to come tomorrow, but you're going to make it through it. We're all going to make it through it. And just remember, you want to be in this for the long game. That's where the real money is made. These corrections are going to happen every few months. It's very, very natural. It's not out of the blue. But of course, it is weird being this high. Being at 3,800, 3,900 on the S&P and then falling, when really it just went like this in the last year. So yeah, for the sake of everybody's retirement accounts, or maybe some people having to pay their bills, I genuinely, I really, really hope things start getting back to normal, at least going sideways rather than just going straight down. But I can't promise it. So please manage your risk, and yeah, wishing the best for everybody. If you want to sign up for a class, Dave on, if that's how you pronounce it, sorry if I mispronounced it. If you want to sign up for the class, it's the first link in the description. Just go to the description, and yeah, been furloughed since last May. Not fun. Definitely sorry to hear that. Genuinely. I don't think anybody expected COVID and all the situations that came from it. And it felt like the market was like that one good thing, like really good thing that came from it somehow in the last year. But then when this is happening, it's like crypto's down, metals are down, stocks are down. It's like, what market could you even trade right now? Unless you're trading short, that's where you could be making money. But what if it's at this point where, what if it does have a common retrace, goes back to a golden retrace up here because it just sold off? It's tough. This is a very, very, I'm sure for a lot of traders, it's a very difficult time. Either short or long, being at these levels, it could genuinely go either way. You could get a common retrace rally because that's what you've done pretty much every single time since the COVID crash. All you've done on these corrections is go right back up and create a new all-time high. But at the same time, you break these levels, there's much more room to the downside. So again, hope everything works out fine. Manage your risk. Get some good sleep tonight. Watch some TV, read a book, whatever you do. Get your mind off things for a little bit. And yeah, hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Want to keep it pretty short, concise, and to the point. Very safely tomorrow. Have a good night. And I'll see you on Sunday night for the next stream. If you want to sign up for a class, it's the first link in the description. Only a few more days before I close that link. Peace out. Have a good night.